What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome into a Friday morning episode of the Daily Juice Podcast. My name is Matt Perrault. You guys can follow me across all of my socials at Sports Talk Matt. And I'm sorry to report that our streak came to an end last night. You know what stinks about the fact that we did not hit our 15th consecutive play of the day? That we won 3 of the 5 bets, and we went 2-1 on the NBA player props. Now, look, this was bound to happen. 2 days prior, I got one bet right, and the one bet that I got right was the play of the day. So this was bound to just the gambling gods and just the law of averages were going to kick in here. So we wind up going 3-2 on the day. Levert under, McCollum does not hit. That was the play of the day. Ricochet comes in under. Won a unit there on the, or I guess we won a little less than that. We won 0.41 units. The Illinois, the SIU and Indiana State under was dead wrong. That game flew over. It was like 190. We were dead wrong there, but Illinois State was very effective against Missouri State. Beat them up pretty good. Won the game going away there. So 3-2 on the day, up 0.31 units for back-to-back winning days for us here on the Juice. But play of the day comes to an end. So look, it was awesome. And let's start a new streak, right? Let's get into it. So I've got I have 2 college basketball bets. I have 1 college basketball future I want to give you, and I have 2 NBA player props because we have to keep going a little bit with the NBA player props. So we'll slow down a little bit here, but we got to get involved with the NBA player props. Keep it rolling here for us. So I got 2, 1 over and 1 under for you guys here today for the podcast. But before I give you those picks and plays, let me remind you of how you guys can win a signed Allen Iverson Philadelphia 76er jersey. If you want your chance to win this, it's very easy. This from our friends at pristineauction.com. All you have to do is subscribe to the BettingPros YouTube channel right now and then drop a comment below on any of our Daily Juice videos. And that's it. We will be announcing the winner right here on the podcast on March the 18th. So make sure you turn on those notifications so you can be alerted as to when new videos are dropped and you can claim your prize. Subscribe to the Betting Pros YouTube channel and leave a comment here on this Daily Juice video, and you could win a signed Allen Iverson Philadelphia 76ers jersey. It's easy to do, just in 2 easy steps to enter into this contest. By the way, I haven't announced the Nick Chubb helmet yet. They haven't told me who won it yet. So hold on. I'll get to that probably tomorrow. Be able to give it to you guys on the Saturday episode of the Daily Juice. I'll give that to you guys so you can have it. One more thing. I told you about this yesterday, and this is all another benefit for you guys who are actually watching or listening to the full podcast and not fast forwarding through the full podcast. I've got the offer, but I have more to explain to you for the trial if you would like to check out the prop bet cheat sheet or the prop bet analyzer. Now, I did tell you last night that bettingpros.com/trial would get you. That works, okay? That's a free 7-day trial. However, there are a couple of other things you could be doing. 1, download the Betting Pros app, okay? It's easier to download the Betting Pros app and use the promo code JUICE to also get a 7-day trial. So 2 different ways you can do it. The easiest way is to download the Betting Pros app, use the promo code JUICE. There, it's going to work for iOS and for Android. The link would only works for iOS. Okay, so if you're on your phone, you type that in. It's not going to work for Android. It's only going to work for iOS. Most of you guys are using iOS, but just in case there's some of you who are not and you're on an Android, that wouldn't have worked last night. So that's my fault for doing that. So I apologize for giving that out. The best way for both iOS and Android is to go and download the Betting Pros app, use the promo code JUICE when it gives you a chance to sign up for a free trial. When it comes to registering, it should be in the prompts on the app. So both of them do work, okay? You can go and do it with bettingpros.com/trial or download the Betting Pros app, use the promo code JUICE when you sign up for the app and get the app, and it will ask you when to register. You can get a 7-day free trial with both of those things from us. So you guys can check out the prop bet cheat sheet and make up your own ideas and plays and plans and thoughts as to how you want to do it when it comes to betting on NBA, college basketball, whatever you might do, or build a system or two. we'll do a Sunday session later on that as to what it means to build a system. So stay tuned for all of that. Okay, let's start talking about the plays. Let's start with Arch Madness. I'm surprised that some of you guys in the comment section, it was the first time you've ever heard me call it, or anyone call it Arch Madness. It's March Madness, but it's in St. Louis. So they've called it Arch Madness ever since I've been going, which is dating back to 2004. It's been called Arch Madness. I think it was called Arch Madness way before even that. So this has been a long time thing for the Missouri Valley Conference being played in St. Louis. But the bracket, like I told you, Drake is the 1 seed. The first game of the day is Drake up against Southern Illinois. Southern Illinois. It's an 8.5 or 9 point number. Okay. I want the first half. Nobody's got it up yet. I got to wait. No one has Southern Illinois plus the points in the first half. It should be 4, 5, or 6. I'm not sure which one's going to be. Okay. But Southern played Drake earlier this year, and they were down 28-27 at the break. Now, the game was played at Southern, okay? But the way that Southern shot the basketball yesterday, and I mean they were on fire yesterday. The fact that game, 86-85, I mean, they were unreal. Southern Illinois just simply couldn't miss, but neither could, Indiana State for that matter, but they shot 27 for 46 on 2-point shots. That's a 58% clip. They shot 9 of 21 from behind the 3-point line. That's a 42.9% clip. 43% from behind the arc. All right? Indiana State wasn't awful either. They shot 38%, 10 of 26 from behind the arc, and they shot 20 of 34. That's 59% from the field. Both teams couldn't miss. But the fact that Southern has played a game on this court and they obviously liked shooting on this court, I don't want to play the full game. But I think Drake might get pushed here, okay? But I want to play the first half. And again, there's not a number out here for this game. But what happens? It's the first game of the day. It's a sleepy environment. That didn't matter, obviously, for the under in that game against Southern and Indiana State. The game flew over. But when it comes to just being comfortable, yes, Drake beat Southern by 10 in the first matchup, and that's why the number is 9. KenPom has it as a 10-point win. But I want first half. I want Southern's best game. I want Southern to come in here and shoot the basketball, and I think Southern's going to have a chance here. It's a 71-61 loss, according to KenPom, but offensively, Southern shot way over their head, but they're a good 3-point shooting team. 35.3% from behind the arc. That's 97th best in college basketball. Drake's defense is 101st in 3-point defense, and they're 300th in 2-point defense. Efficiency-wise, they're good. 62nd in adjusted efficiency, but effective field goal percentage defensively, Drake is bad. They're 242nd. So if Southern shoots the basketball the way they shot the ball, and I'm not saying it carries over because it's 2 different days, 2 different games. But in the first half, I think Southern is going to feel like, you know what? We hung with these guys. We got a shot to knock out Drake. In the first game, I've seen the 1 seed get pushed even to overtime and sometimes lose this thing. Drake, for a lot of these kids, for Drake, this is their first time playing in Arch Madness. And while a lot of them have tournament experience, this is in St. Louis for Southern Illinois. They're going to have fans there. It's not going to be anywhere near like it was. It's a 1 o'clock Eastern time tip. Southern will have fans in the building. Drake will too. Drake will have a ton, okay? It'll be more Drake than Southern, but it won't be just all Drake. Southern fans will show up. I want Southern in the first half, okay? I can't give you the number. I got to give it to you on the Discord channel. I don't know what it is, okay? There's no one with it up at the moment. We're taping here at 11:15 Pacific time. I waited as long as I could, and there's nobody with this number up yet. So in the morning, let's see what it is, but we want over 1 possession. As long as it's over 1 possession, I'm good. 3, 4, 4.5, somewhere in that range. Take Southern Illinois plus the points in the first half up against Drake, and you guys know I love Drake. You can bet Drake for the game if you want, okay? I don't mind that. I love Drake, and I think Drake absolutely belongs in the dance, but I think Southern could have a chance to be in the game at halftime here with Southern and Drake. Southern plus the points in the first half for 1.1 units. Let's stay in the Missouri Valley. Game 2. I haven't touched the bottom part of the bracket. This is still the top part of the bracket, but Illinois State against Belmont. Game's a pick. Illinois State, this is a 1-point loss to Belmont, according to KenPom. But I told you yesterday that I really like Illinois State's draw. They killed Missouri State, who stinks. Belmont does not stink, okay? I'm not going to, no way. They have a bye for a reason, okay? They went 13-7 in the Missouri Valley Conference. They won their last 3 games against Indiana State, Missouri State, and Murray State. Not exactly a murderer's row, if you ask me. They lost to Northern Iowa at home in their last game that was supposed to test them. They lost 82-75. They played up against decent competition in the non-conference. Nothing outstanding, nothing great. Like Richmond at 240, Minnesota State at 118, Furman they lost to, Loyola Marymount they lost to. But the Redbirds beat Belmont. Now, it was at home, but they beat Belmont in the one meeting they had this season. They beat him 81-78. So here we are with another game in which I think Belmont's in Nashville, okay? They're not going to have many fans there, okay? This is a pretty good hike to get to St. Louis for what could be only one game on a Friday afternoon. Like, Belmont will have their band there and their cheerleaders there, but I think Illinois State, the Redbirds, will have fans, and the Redbirds, look, they've already played a game on this court. Belmont has not. Illinois State played really well on this court. I think it's a huge advantage in a coin flip type basketball game that Illinois State has played a game. They're not going to have tired legs. They're still playing with adrenaline. Illinois State, give me the pick'em money line. Illinois State to win. I like them to advance. As I said, I think Illinois State's going to have a chance to go up against Drake and push them, okay? I think Illinois State beats Belmont here, and then I think Drake will win eventually, but I think Southern's going to push them, but I think Drake wins. And then Saturday afternoon, we'll have Drake and Illinois State, which should be a tremendous game. We've got Bradley in Northern Iowa coming up in the early part, in the late part of the Valley tournament coming up, and I just think it's a lot of fun right now. I mean, if you haven't watched Arch Madness, I can't stress it enough. I mean, it's a ton of fun. Murray State won 74-53 tonight, and then Valpo came in and beat Illinois Chicago. I mean, that's a shock. I mean, not a dead shock, but that's a big win. That's an 11 seed going ahead and knocking out. I might come in and take Northern Iowa up against Valparaiso. That's a big break for you and I that UIC lost that game. And then Bradley will come in here and take on Murray State, who won 74-53. I don't know what the heck happened to Evansville, but Evansville was only 8-12 in the Missouri Valley this year. Murray State 9-11. I would expect Bradley and Northern Iowa both to win in advance. So then you're going to wind up with a 1-5, potentially 1-5-2-3 bottom of the bracket. And I mean, Bradley and Northern Iowa playing each other is a huge break for Drake. I mean, that's a gigantic break if Drake can get past Illinois State, Belmont, whoever, or Southern, whoever they can wind up playing to have them be in the final on Sunday. Big deal. CBS Sports with the final for Arch Madness at the Enterprise Center. So, Illinois State pick'em money line, and I'm taking first half Southern Illinois plus the points up against Drake. Now, let's talk one future. St. Mary's and the weirdness of the West Coast Conference. So the West Coast Conference puts the 1 seed and the 2 seed into a triple bye situation. The 1 seed is St. Mary's. The 2 seed is Gonzaga. They're both going to play on Monday in the semifinals. The championship game for the West Coast Conference is on Tuesday. It's the oddest conference tournament that exists, okay? It's literally set up to make sure that Gonzaga plays in the final. Gonzaga's lost both games to St. Mary's this year. The theory is it's hard to beat a team 3 times. In reality, that's not the case. In the reality, the team that's won the first 2 games wins about 65% of the time. The team that's won that time. And that's more than what you normally see in college basketball. This is plus 155 at FanDuel for St. Mary's to win the West Coast Conference. Look, we may very well come back and take Gonzaga. If Gonzaga is favored in the West Coast Conference Championship game, okay, I mean, there's a chance that Gonzaga could wind up, being -1, -2. They were favored in the earlier games, and they lost outright to St. Mary's. St. Mary's is the better basketball team, and St. Mary's is much better defensively as well. So you can just let it ride, too. I think St. Mary's wins. You have the 1 seed that's already beaten the 2 seed 2 times, and they're plus 155? That's wrong. FanDuel, DraftKings is at 140. FanDuel is 155. Give me 1 unit, plus 155 on St. Mary's to win the West Coast Conference Tournament. Heck, we may be able to hedge off that in-game and take plus points on Gonzaga and maybe hit both bets. So St. Mary's plus 155 to win the West Coast Conference Tournament for 1 unit here today. All right, let's talk NBA and let's talk player props. Prop bet cheat sheet time. Let's go to Nick Smith Jr. Nick Smith Jr. of the Hornets. They're hosting the Cleveland Cavaliers. Points, rebounds, and assists for Nick Smith Jr. This is a 5-star play, is a plus 21 positive EV up against a top 10 defense here in the Cleveland Cavaliers. Head-to-head wise, this has only come in 33% of the time. The number is 18.5. The projection is 12 for Nick Smith Jr. Points, rebounds, and assists. Now, at 17.5 in his last game against Minnesota, it went over. He had 11 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. 18 over. But against Golden State, he had 18.5 as the number. He only had 7, 6 points, 1 assist. 2 games prior, he had 19 and 22, went over. But the 3 games prior, 13, 16, 18, all under 18.5 and 19.5, went over against Denver. But the 2 previous games, he went under at 17.5 and 20.5. He had 6 and 15. There are some games where he just flat out disappears. Last 2 games, he didn't get over 18.5. He had 18 and he had 7. The projection is for 12 here for Nick Smith Jr. We're going to come in and bet the under on Nick Smith Jr. Under points, rebounds, and assists for him here tonight. We're going to go with against Cleveland here for Nick Smith Jr. That's one of the top, it actually is the largest point projection differential on the prop bet cheat sheet for tonight so far. Prop bet cheat sheet likes Nick Smith under everything. Points and assists under, points and rebounds under. He's a popular play here for the prop bet cheat sheet. All the unders on Nick Smith Jr. Now, let's talk about De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox is ice cold. He has gone under his points, rebounds, and assists number his last 5 games. So it was set between 31.5 and 36.5 over the last 6 games. Under them all. In some games, he scored 20 points. He had 20 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists up against OKC. The number was 31.5. He played 34 minutes. Didn't go over. Against Brooklyn, 33.5 was the number. He had 15 points, 7 assists, and 3 rebounds. He had 25. Way under. Prop bet cheat sheet says this number has finally gone down far enough because Sacramento defensively is not good. Prop bet cheat sheet's projecting a 36 points, rebounds, and assists night for De'Aaron Fox of the San Antonio Spurs. 31.5 is the prop for De'Aaron Fox. We've gotten to the point where we're pretty darn low. Okay, like I mentioned, this thing has been as high as 36.5. It just keeps on going down, keeps on going down, keeps on going down. Prop bet cheat sheet says, okay, this is far enough down. The last time he went over 37 up against Detroit. Now, head-to-head wise, this has been a somewhat of a productive, a decent bet here for De'Aaron Fox. Not recently, but historically speaking, he's gone over this number the majority of the time. He's gone over up against the Cleveland Cavaliers, up against Sacramento as well. Sacramento does not play defense like we know. Prop bet cheat sheet says this goes over. Let's ride it. De'Aaron Fox over 31.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Nearly a 5 projected differential between what the prop at TG thinks is going to happen versus what the prop is. He's ice, 5-star play. It's a 27% positive EV play here with De'Aaron Fox over. Let's jump on that with points, rebounds, and assists for De'Aaron Fox. All right, so plays for today. Illinois State, pick 'em in Arch Madness at -110, 1.1 units down. Southern Illinois, first half against Drake, plus the points, whatever that is. St. Mary's to win the West Coast Conference at +155, 1 unit down on that. That will be played next week. Nick Smith Jr., points, rebounds, and assists under 18.5. And De'Aaron Fox, points, rebounds, and assists over 31.5 at -120. My name is Matt Perrault. You guys can follow me across all my socials at Sports Talk Matt every single morning, wherever you guys get your podcasts. It is the Daily Juice.